referring to President Muhammadu Buhari as the most important and the most significant over and above Awolowo and Zik.
Yes.
What's your assessment of that statement from your friend?
But that is his job. His job is to promote his organ. It's not an enviable job, the issue of being a spokesperson. And Awolowo did not employ him. Zik did not employ Femi. The present employer is Buhari. So he wants him to come and praise Awolowo that is gone, and then Zik that has already gone to settle his account with God and all that. He will praise. He will tell you that his master is the highest person. If the only highest person he may not compare with is God, But as for any being that is living here on earth, the man that Femi Adesina knows today as is President Buhari, and so I won't begrudge him. I will not in any way quarrel with him, because that is what he's actually entitled to do. And if he doesn't do it, he will lose his job. So that is how he works here. That's how he rolls. If you don't praise your guy, you don't get there. You don't carry that favor. It's unfortunate.
But you don't in any way endorse his claim or whatever he said there.
You mean whether I endorse?
You don't endorse his claim that Buhari is greater than Awolowo and Zik. You dissociate.
I don't even know under what context he was mentioning that. He says that issue of crowd. Somebody now told him of the kind of crowd that even that I saw of Awolowo when he came to Aba. Awolowo, there was time he came to Aba, to come and campaign, during the UPN. I think UPN time. My God, if you see the crowd that really attended, Awolowo put crowd anywhere he goes in the world. I mean, anywhere in the country, during those times that he lost that election, and then which was described as the best president Nigeria never had by Ojukwu. I mean, we know what happened, 12 to 3rd and all that. He won that election, but because they know he's somebody cannot bend, they had to give it to President Shehu Shagari and all that. So Awolowo was a crowd puller. Zik, people also said that Zik, when Zik was Zik in the 60s and all that, anywhere he goes. And of course, he's a man that can hold the entire crowd spellbound. So what is special about Buhari? Is it in terms of holding the crowd spellbound, or is it in terms of grammar, or is it in terms of razzmatazz? What's about it? There has been this issue that the man is full of integrity and all that. Fine, that has been alluded to him. But as I said earlier, what Femi Adesina has done is not out of place. You see that all these chief spokesperson of those who are in government will always tell you that their president or whoever they speak on his behalf is the best thing that can happen to them in the world and all that. So if he doesn't say it, I don't know whether it is me that will say it, And I won't begrudge him. I won't begrudge him. He's doing his job, my brother. So let's forgive him. Let's forgive him for that, because if he doesn't do his job, he's only doing his job. There is no other person he can ever call his organ master now, and then the best thing that can happen to him presently, because this is his present employer, Shegu. If you are there too, I don't think you want to probably not say the same thing. Okay, the only thing that don't accept such a job. The moment you accept such a job, that is the first job, to tell the world that your master, even when he's wrong, that is the best that can happen to you and to your parent and to your generation. That is what they are paid to do. If they don't do it that way,
when next to see your friend Femi Adesina, please tell him that we should also refer him to the video of the crowd stoning Buhari when he visited the other time. When they were shouting, "Bamaso, Bamaso."
But he is not meant to see that. For him, such does not exist. Such does not exist, because that is not his brief. His brief to make sure that all the good sides of his organ, he must paint it. And then magnified. All the bad sides, he has to downsize it. Because if he does magnify the bad side, then he is not a good spokesperson. So that is the job. It's a hazard of the job. Sometimes we have to make excuses for them, really, because it's not a job that you accept and you do anything to the contrary. This is the kind of job I will not accept, because knowing fully well what I represent and what I stand for. So I even find it difficult that can I even accept any government appointment in the light of what I've actually stand so far in the country. Who will I actually say today I want to serve? And then who will be in the same spirit with me, who want to really render service? Most of these politicians is all over the country. if you get close to them, there are so many things that you can that these guys will do that clearly are variance to the principles you stand for. So can you really serve under such government and come out tomorrow and open your mouth again in order to criticize when you have served in such a government? You know, that is the kind of yoke some of our friends, you know, who have been on this side, you know, are really on after they have gone in. Someone like my friend Keyamo now, you now say probably comes out tomorrow now. No, there's a problem. There's a problem. There's a problem even with Ruben. I remember it's just recently that Ruben is being accepted gradually. And Ruben is an intelligent man. He went to Arise, and you can see that gradually people. But when he was there, he even said it that the moment he lost that job, we're no longer getting phone calls. No phone calls anymore. Because they knew and all that, you know. So it is a very difficult thing to serve Nigerian politicians, especially on appointment level. And then you have stood for certain thing that is clearly, you know, integrity reading. All of a sudden, you now go there and start supporting evil. You now start eating your words, swallowing all the things you have done. Oh my God! By the time you come back again and begin to start on the ground of integrity again, they say, "Look, come and get away you." On what basis? Just like you as a child of God, you know, you they preach at the altar,
Yeah.
And you they preach at the altar. You they preach against adultery. You they preach against fornication. All of a sudden, as a married man, you go and sleep with this girl in a hotel somewhere in Casina, and come back and come and kneel down, and say you want to pray. You know, Satan will remind, come and get away from. What are you trying to do?
No, tell Satan I was there to preach because I was preaching
that prayer. that prayer no go. There's no express for it. You know, because you know you are not living right. You know, so it is good for us to really stand on certain principles in life. And let God help us to be in government in order to pursue those principles to a logical end. So that when we come out, people can say, yes, we know you for what you stood for and what, even when you are in government, you represented it. Are you following me? It's difficult when you stand this and then you go in and start doing a different thing and saying a different thing entirely. Start supporting evil. Start supporting oppressive acts against the people. Start speaking against the people you protected. You know, like me now, I've always, you know, spoken on behalf of the people. It will be very at variance with my principle tomorrow, Chegu, for me to go into government and now start messing up people and start saying things against Nigeria, say they should go to hell. If I do that, how do you think I can come out again and begin to speak on behalf of same people? It's clearly something that I'm considering that Ubani, God helping me, the only position I may want to is an executive position where I can be able to influence things. Not all this issue of government appointment or a commissioner or this where you come out, they say you are part of that government. Meanwhile, you were there, you couldn't influence anything because you are not in a position to influence anything. And by the way, you are there to support the government. And most times you cannot speak against the government you are working for because you don't talk when you are eating. So it's a difficult situation.